YouTube, welcome back to my channel, Taylor Talks Tales. Today, I have another library book haul for you. This is an unintentional one. I ended up having to return a couple library books over to my local library and ended up not having the willpower to not pick any books up. So I've got quite a bit to show you today. I was a little bit naughty at the library and picked up way too many. But granted, I will say that my local library, you check books out for a month and then you can recheck or basically renew them twice in addition to that. So I could technically have some of these books well into February or even early March. So anyway, let's get started. I'm very excited for a couple of these. Again, wasn't originally going to pick anything up, but ended up getting quite a few. So the first book I picked up is The Ballot of Black Tom by Victor Lavelle. I've been wanting to read this one for quite some time, and because it's a very short little novella, I feel like I can just kind of plow through this pretty quickly. And this is what the back says. Charles Thomas Tester hustles to put food on the table, to keep the roof over his father's head, from Harlem to Flushing Meadows to Red Hook. He knows what magic a suit can cast, the invisibility a guitar case can provide, and the curse written on his skin that attracts the eyes of wealthy white folks and their cops. But when he delivers an occult book to a reclusive sorceress in the heart of Queens, Tom opens a door to a deeper realm of magic, and earns the attention of things best left sleeping. A storm that might swallow the world is building in Brooklyn. Will Black Tom live to see it break? This sounds really good. I've had this on my TBR for like multiple years and finally found this at the library, and I'm like, I should just get into it. I love magic, and this is a historical piece, and I think it's also going to be a really interesting exploration of racism and all of that. So looking forward to this. I think it'll be a very quick read, and then I'll be doing a review when I get through. Next one I picked up is because it's Christmas time. I ended up picking up The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. I've actually read a couple books by Cynthia Hand. I read her Unearthly series that came out years and years ago now, and then there's like one other like ghost type story that she came out with. I liked the ghost story. Unearthly was just sort of a, like, it was well written. She's a good writer, but the story was a little lackluster, I think, because it was more of a fluffier-ish romance. But this sounds pretty interesting, so I might actually read this sooner than I anticipated just because Christmas is coming up, so it'll be a good time of year to read it. On Christmas Eve 5 years ago, Holly was visited by 3 ghosts who showed her how selfish and spoiled she'd become. They tried to convince her to mend her ways. She didn't, and then she died. Now she's stuck working for the top-secret company Project Scrooge as the latest ghost of Christmas past. Every year, they save another miserly grouch. Every year, Holly stays frozen at 17 while her family and friends go on living without her. So far, Holly's afterlife has been miserable, but this year, everything is about to change. So, I'm excited. I actually really enjoy A Christmas Carol. It's actually the only Charles Dickens book that I really care for. I know he's this big classic author, but the only story of his I actually really truly enjoyed was A Christmas Carol. So I'm interested to see what this book is going to be like. Next one. So this one I am very excited about. And that is Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw. It's very pretty. There's also a white cover of this book that also looks extremely gorgeous. So this is the author who did The Wicked Deep, and I really enjoyed The Wicked Deep. I think I gave it at least a 4 out of 5 star. It might have even been 4.5 out of 5 star. Anyway, I'll read the flap. Be careful of the dark wood, especially the woods surrounding the town of Fir Haven. Some say these woods are magical, cursed even. Rumored to be a witch, only Nora Walker knows the truth. She and the Walker women before her have always shared a special connection with the woods. And it's a special connection that leads Nora to Oliver Huntsman, the same boy who disappeared from the camp for wayward boys weeks ago, and in the middle of the worst snowstorm in years. He should be dead, but here he is alive and left in the woods with no memory of the time he's been missing. But Nora can feel an uneasy shift in the woods at Oliver's presence. And it's not too long after that Nora realizes she has no choice but to unearth the truth behind how the boy she has come to care so deeply about survived his time in the forest, and what led him there in the first place. What Nora doesn't know, though, is that Oliver has secrets of his own. Secrets he'll do anything to keep buried, because as it turns out, he wasn't the only one who went missing on that fateful night all those weeks ago. For as long as there have been fairy tales, we have been warned to fear what lies within the dark woods, and in Winterwood. Best-selling author Shay Earnshaw shows us why. Sounds really cool. It sounds very witchy with some creep elements to it. I'm very excited for this, and I hope it lives up to the hype and to the awesomeness of the Wicked Deep. Next one, I'm very excited for this. I've been on a bit of a thriller kick, so this one is The Chain by Adrienne McKinty. The morning starts like any other. Rachel Klein drops her daughter Kylie at the bus stop and heads into her day. But then a cell phone call from an unknown number changes everything. On the line is a woman informing Rachel that she has Kylie bound and gagged in her back seat, and the only way Rachel will ever see her again is if she pays a ransom and kidnaps another child. The caller is a mother herself, whose son has also been abducted, and if Rachel doesn't do exactly as she's told, the boy will die, and so will Kylie. Rachel is now part of the chain, a terrifying scheme that turns parents from victims into criminals, and is making someone else very rich in the process. Rachel is an ordinary woman, but over the coming days she will be pushed beyond ordinary limits. She will have to do impossible moral choices and do terrible things. The chain is ruthless, terrifying, and completely anonymous. The rules are simple. Find the money, find your victim, and then commit a horrible act you'd have thought yourself incapable of just 20 hours ago. It sounds really, really awesome. I've seen some pretty good reviews of it, and yeah, I really like stories with complicated, like, what would you do in this situation, and people going further than they thought they ever would, and especially too with like parent-child relationships. I mean, what would you do for your child if your child was abducted and in this situation? What would you do? Kind of like in Suffer the Children. It's very complicated, and I'm just very interested to see how dark this goes and where it goes. Next one. I was so excited to find this book, and this is jumping up on my TBR list, and that's Last Days by Adam Neville. As you know, I recently reviewed The Reddening on this channel and really enjoyed it. I also enjoyed The Ritual and the movie of The Ritual, so I've started to really enjoy Adam Neville's work a lot. So this one sounds so up my alley. I'm really excited about it. When guerrilla documentary maker Kyle Freeman is asked to shoot a film on the notorious cult known as the Temple of the Last Days, it appears his prayers have been answered. The cult became a worldwide phenomenon in 1975 when there was a massacre, including the death of its infamous leader, Sister Catherine. Kyle's brief is to explore the paranormal myths surrounding an organization that became a testament to paranoia, murderous rage, and occult rituals. The shoot's locations take him to the cult's first temple in London, an abandoned farm in France, and a derelict copper mine in the Arizonian desert where the Temple of the Last Days met its bloody end. But when he interviews those involved in the case, those who haven't broken silence in decades, a series of uncanny events plague the shoots. Troubling out-of-body experiences, nocturnal visitations, the sudden demise of their interviewees, and the discovery of ghastly artifacts make Kyle question what exactly it is the cult has awoken, as well as its interest in him. Ooh, it sounds really good. So, kind of like Little Heaven, but I'm hoping this, even though I enjoyed Little Heaven, this seems more like what I really want out of a cult book. Just like from VHS 2, that one sequence that I really enjoyed. I mean, I like that entire movie, but I'm really hoping this is very atmospheric and good descriptions and everything like that. So I'm very excited for this. Can't wait to get to it. Alright, next one is a very popular book. I'm surprised I was actually able to get this at the library. And that is Maggie Stiefvater's Call Down the Hawk. Woo! This book's everywhere on BookTube right now. It's the spin-off series for the Raven Boys, or the Raven Cycle, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to read the inside flap, and then yeah. The dreamers walk among us, and so do the dreamed. Those who dream cannot stop dreaming. They can only try to control it. Those who are dreamed cannot have their own lives. They will sleep forever. Their dreamers die. And then there are those who are drawn to the dreamers, to use them, to trap them, to kill them before their dreams destroy us all. Ronan Lynch is a dreamer. He can pull both curiosities and catastrophes out of his dreams and into his compromised reality. Jordan Hennessy is a thief. The closer she comes to the dream object she is after, the more inextricably she becomes tied to it. Carmen Farouk Elaine is a hunter. Her brother was a dreamer and a killer. She has seen what dreaming can do to a person, and she has seen the damage that dreamers can do, but that is nothing compared to the destruction that is about to be unleashed. Yes, pretty excited about this one. I'm not going to get to it for a little while, just because I kind of want to do like a just brief recap of the Raven Boys and the Raven Cycle. But I'm very excited for this, and again, I was very surprised to see this at the library because I was expecting there to be a million holds on it, but I got it, which is very cool. Alright, I only have a couple more books for you guys. This one is The Secret Life of Souls by Jack Ketchum and Lucky McKee. I'm really excited for this book because I've read several Jack Ketchum books and they're very good, and Lucky McKee directed May, which I love that movie. I identify with May so much. It's such a great, fantastic movie. Go check it out. It's great. So I think that them being combined on a project together is going to be super cool. And it has to do with dogs also. So I picked it up because I love dogs. I love all animals, but especially, dogs have a special place in my heart. 11-year-old actress Delia Cross is beautiful, talented, and charismatic. A true star in the making. Her days are a blur of hard work on set, auditions, and tutors. Her family, an ambitious stage mother, wastrel father, and introverted twin brother, depends on her for their upscale lifestyle. Delia, in turn, depends on Katie, her beloved ginger Queensland healer, and loyal friend, for the calming private space they share. Delia is on the verge of a professional breakthrough. But just as the contracts are about to be signed, a freak accident puts Delia in the danger zone from every quarter. At the heart of the psychological suspense novel is the haunting depiction of a family's fall and an extraordinary interspecies relationship. As the drama unfolds, Katie evolves from prop to scapegoat to protector and ultimately to survivor. Together, she and Delia are unselfish souls in a selfish world, and they are written in depth and grace by authors Ketchum and McKee. With her telling instincts and her capacity for joy and transformative love, Katie joins the pantheon of great dogs in contemporary literature. So I'm excited for this. I heard it's kind of a cross-genre, but I'm looking forward to it, and I've heard some pretty good things about this. I know it's not really going to be a horror novel or even a thriller. I think it's more kind of a character exploration piece, but I've heard it's supposed to be very sweet and have some very tender moments and have some haunting moments, so looking forward to that. 2 left, and that's it. Alright, there's One of Us by Craig DeLuey. I think that's a very interesting thing on the cover. I'm very interested in getting more into Craig DeLuey. I love Suffer the Children, and I'm almost finished with Our War, and I've been really enjoying it. This one's been out for a little while, but it sounds super cool. They call it the plague, a generation of children born with extreme genetic mutations. They call it a home, but it's a place of neglect and forced labor. They call him a freak, but Dog is just a boy who wants to be treated as normal. They call them dangerous. They might be right. So basically, from what I've heard of this book, and I don't want to, I oftentimes do like to go into books not knowing too much about them. I hate it when, the blurbs give away everything. But I know that there's some kind of plague that happened that transformed children into various, they have either powers or abilities or something like that. Kind of like The Darkest Minds, but I feel like this is going to be more of a horror type thing, and it goes deeper, especially with, prejudice and, quarantine and the ethics of that, so I'm looking forward to this. The last one, I also kind of surprised to find at the library, but I really want to get more into this author at some point. I want to read all of his works, and that's Brandon Sanderson's Skyward, which I like the purple on this cover. I'm a big fan of purple. Yeah, let's read this. Spence's world has been under attack for decades. Now pilots are the heroes of what's left of the human race, and becoming one has always been Spence's dream. Since she is a little girl, she has imagined soaring skyward and proving her bravery. But her fate is intertwined with her father's, a pilot himself who was killed years ago when he abruptly deserted his team, leaving Spencer the daughter of a coward. Her chances of attending flight school slim to none. No one will let Spencer forget what her father did, yet fate works in mysterious ways. Flight school might be a long shot, but she is determined to fly, and an accidental discovery in a long-forgotten cavern might just provide her with a way to claim the stars. This is really cool because it's sort of a sci-fi Brandon Sanderson. I've only read a couple of his works, but enjoyed them, and they were high fantasy. So I'm really interested to see what he can take to the sci-fi genre, and this is more of a YA story, so I'm also interested to see what he does with that. So looking forward to this. Again, this is not super high on my list of books I'm planning on getting through, but we'll see how far I get. So yeah, that's my library book haul. That is the last one I am planning on doing for December. I should not get any more because I have plenty to get through, especially because I want to make sure I hit my Goodreads challenge, and I'm still working very hard on my book and just holiday stuff and getting things squared away with jobs and all that. So I've got a lot going on. So I'm banning myself from going to the library to pick up any more books because I just don't need 30 more books or anything like that. But thank you so much. If any of you have read any of these books, let me know what you think about them. You know, I'm interested in your thoughts, like if there's one book I should jump into right away, or if there's one book that you didn't really care for, you know, just let me know. I'm always very interested to see whatever other people's thoughts are. So thank you so much for watching my video. Have an awesome day. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and happy reading!